are cornhole. Hey, what do you say, whole heads? Welcome to another edition of Taco Tuesday. It is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. Just to prove that we're actually doing it on this particular day. I'm Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO. Frank, here's the cornhole dude. Cheers to you. Happy Taco Tuesday, my friend. Welcome home. And I am going to be enjoying my drink.
Your water shot.
Out of my little ACO River Distilling shot glass.
Well, the next time we're out here, we're going to open up one of these and have the three of us have a little sipper. Speaking of ACO, man, let's check out this little baby right here.
The official whiskey of cornhole. Look at that.
Boom!
I love that. That's a very cool gift box. Margaret Barrett and the three other women who are the brain trust with her behind ACO River Distilling. I love this because they've got that little wooden tag that goes on the bottle in the shape of a cornhole board with the official whiskey of cornhole branded in there. And then on your cover, it's the same thing, right? So that's pretty cool too. I mean, just graphically, and the hole makes perfect sense as a way to lift it out of there. Very cool.
These actually aren't available for sale. This is just a one-off Giphy thing type of thing.
But that's a pretty cool way to take advantage of what is your opportunity to be the official product or service of cornhole, and turning that into something that really catches your eye like that is very cool. So nicely done.
We ended up using this, Finn, all during the week. Shannon actually gave it to me when I went down there and stayed with him and Margaret at their place there in Tennessee. So this is an idea for next year. I'm just putting it out early so people start to think about this. I got to work on it with Copper Hill Brewing and ACO River Distillery. But they have a brand new facility that they purchased, acquired. They've put it on the river. They've got a food truck there, outdoor space for live music, indoor space for cornhole, outdoor space for cornhole. Really cool space down there in Copper Hill. Next year, we're talking about trying to do a little pre-welcome bash on Wednesday night. So only going to probably look for maybe 32 friends to come on down to Copper Hill. But we might be calling out to some of those cornhole players who want a little extra special thing to come on down there to Copper Hill. But great place, super fam dam, and this was really cool.
Yeah, so it would be a VI pregame?
It wouldn't be just for those people that actually want to come out. You know, a lot of people can't take that much work off, but it is very cool. If you're ever in the area of Copper Hill, Tennessee, it is worth stopping by their spot.
Well, I'm going to have to see if I can get my boss to let me attend one of those. I would like to do that. And it looked like everybody had a great time. LaBelle couldn't say enough about it, and then later couldn't slur enough about it. I'm not she enjoyed I think it was a double oak or a double O that they had going on. But ACO River Distilling, official whiskey, this notorious 397. Again, as we said, there's 80 proof goodness inside and a little history on the label. On the outside, you can figure it out for yourself. Also, American Pacific Mortgage, Erica Bloomer, buyingwithbloomer.com. Still the way to go if you're looking to, and I think interest rates are kind of starting for housing are starting to inch back down. But if you want somebody to walk you through that process, hit her up, buyingwithbloomer.com. Erica, part of the ACO family with Bounty Bags as well. Let her get the love back from you that she is showing to us.
Yep, loved it. And she and Jeff were down there from Bounty Bags doing their thing as well. But the cool thing with Erica now is this is brand new to her and her company, but they have access to be able to help you get personal loans for automobiles and things now.
No, not just mortgage loans.
Not just mortgage. So, so definitely she's worth talking to. You don't even have to be looking for a property or a new house. You can be looking for a personal loan such as a car. So,
how about that?
So some cool things have happened with her business, and excited too for her to be on board.
Well, you learn something new every day. So I am done learning today because I learned my something. Hey, just a couple of quick reminders. New content that's coming out on the ACO Digital Network channels. There's the Quick Pitch, which comes out Monday nights. Yesterday evening, came out with a Dustin Arant, Caleb Hurt quick pitch from, again, Owensboro. We've started just kind of playing with this a little bit, doing the matches that are already shortened via the skins games that we had at the Super Major. Just kind of working those out to figure out, what's the right amount of time to make a quick pitch. But that was the one that was released last night. So you can check that one out on the YouTube channel if you like. Mondays are when we're targeting quick pitch releases. We also have a handful of others of releases: Wednesday nights, Friday Night Fight, club nights, and then the Taco Express, which is a kind of a printout version of what we're doing tonight, so that you can go back and revisit what we were talking about and go back and see what, if anything, you might have missed on a Taco Tuesday. So all kinds of content. So make sure that you've signed up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure that you're joining up on the Facebook page and you're seeing notifications there as well. I almost had a Freudian slip there, as wheel, because we're going to get to the wheel here
about the wheel
in just a moment. The Season 21 Facebook players page, again, that is a page where we can push information out to active players, directors, and so on and so forth. We have a directors page, we have a bag makers page, but a Season 21 players page. This is really to get information out to you as quickly and easily as possible, so make sure you join in and follow that one as well. Bag partners, as always, we got them scrolling across the bottom. Dude Cornhole, I think, was the newest addition as of last week. And you see some of this one, you said this one just came in today. Is that right?
It's a little high roller bag there.
That's pretty cool. I like
showdown,
the showdown bag with a couple of aces on there and some dice and some chips and whatnot. And, of course, the ACO approved stamp. Love it. So know that any of those bag partners across the bottom scrolling are approved and ready to go. Monster Cornhole continues rolling Season 3. It's hard to believe we're already in. It feels like we were just talking about it just getting going, and now already in Season 3. That's kind of crazy.
So, and not to skip forward, we'll talk about this for 2 seconds because we're on Monster, though. But you know how we've added this new Monster tournament at the majors, right?
Yeah, Fridays at 11 a.m.
10:30 kicks off. 11 a.m. it actually kicks off, but we stopped selling at 10:30. That's been turning out really well, Finn. I mean, people are signing up and playing in that. And now another thing that we've started doing at majors, we did a test drive down in Dalton this past weekend. And we ended up running, I think, 4 or 5 little luck of the draws, sit and goes that we do. But we did monster sit and goes throughout the weekend. And we're going to start incorporating that, I think, into majors as well. Just because, again, you got those people that are sitting around during co-ed waiting for quads to get started. There's a window of 2 or 3 hours that they got knocked out of monster, the big blind. And they just don't have anything specifically to do. And now we're putting it out there that you're giving them something to do.
Well, and I like that too, because, and how many times have we noticed this? Even when you have a division to go to and you have to finish and then go to another, but in between, no matter what, you like to be able to stay loose and stay warm. And that might give people an opportunity to really dial in a game that may have abandoned them earlier in the morning, but then all of a sudden starts coming around later in the day, and it could help you. Not only you win a little bit of cash, but you also stay limber, stay loose, and dial your game in for what you've got coming up.
It's a great point and a good idea. And they're fast-paced. These particular monsters are sit and goes. They're single elimination, 70% payout, first 16 people that sign up. A lot of fun, easy to do. So just letting everybody know, most ACO players are used to these at World Championships and past majors and things like that. We're kind of bringing them back.
Yep. Awesome. And monstercornhole.com, you see the page up there. You can see the current standings for Season 3. Again, the postcards have all gone out with the registration, the free registrations and things like that.
And they were coming
entries, and they're starting to come back in. Oh, that's great. So awesome. That's awesome. And that's exactly what Monster's supposed to be, a great entry-level way to get folks to come in and play at shoulder to shoulder with at the level of competition that is makes you want to keep playing. You know what I mean?
100%. And hey, if you're out there and you're a bag partner or you're a business looking for a cool opportunity to sponsor yourself, go onto the monstercornhole.com website, fill out the sponsorship application form. There are opportunities to become a prize sponsor within the Monster programming.
No, that's cool. And and that's, again, it's a whole different way of looking at cornhole, but it's also a way to stay competitive and try to win different things here and there. And I think anytime you have an opportunity to watch your game and your PPR creep up, and then take home something that kind of validates the work that you're putting in, that's always a lot of fun. And there is one other Monster note that you mentioned to me over the weekend. Are you going to mention that?
I can't even remember what it was. Tell me what it is. Remind me.
Really?
Yeah, tell me what it was. Oh, yeah. I forgot to get. Oh, maybe we'll wait till next week. I forgot to get the picture. Yes, okay. We got to get. Yes. We'll wait till next week.
I guess you may have already figured it out. I don't know. I don't know.
No, the box blocked out.
Anyway, all right. Well, we'll have
good stuff next week.
Yeah, we'll talk to you more about that coming up. Well, let's talk a little bit about Dalton, the carpet capital of the universe, Dalton, Georgia. This thing just keeps getting bigger and more popular each season. I mean, this one's really taken off very quickly.
It has.
And I caught a bunch of the Friday stuff with the CBC boys. They were kind of alternating back and forth as one was playing, the other was calling matches. And so I think Dylan started things out, and then he and Molly went off to playing co-ed. And so Bill came in. Bill was pretty funny. He was explaining the bill bag. And everybody's like, what are you talking about, a bill bag? The dirty bag, the front board bag, or whatever. And I heard him saying that when he first started playing, he would do 4 of those in a row in a frame. And I'm like, now that's a man after my own game. But great stuff. There were some fantastic matches. And you may see a couple of these come up one day in a quick pitch, but we'll get to the results here in just a moment. But LaBelle was on hand, so you knew it was running smoothly. Margaret Barrett was there, so you knew everything was right in its lane and right in line. Craig and Ashley Irvin, Tammy and Junior Williams. I know you were down there riding herd on a lot of folks. Kim Jackson was there. You saw great social media pieces. And one of the great pieces was the Valentine's Day weekend. Margaret was taking couple shots.
She did a great job with those shots, too.
Yeah, this turned into a really cool reel that I don't know if you've seen it on the Facebook page, but Kim put together a really cool Valentine's Day reel, and you're seeing some of those photos in the slideshow now. But the one I was watching along, and I'm like, oh, look at these cute couples. Oh, there's Isaac and there's Smiley. Oh, there's Tammy and Junior. Oh, there's all these different people. And then there's you and Philip. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? But you got your leg. I was like, he's playing you like a guitar. It's pretty funny. But the Mississippi Ninja was in the house. But yeah, some great shots, a great Valentine's Day weekend. And thanks to everybody that was there, including CBC Bags, Cornslinger Bag Company had a booth on hand. TNT was there. BD Boards and Bags, Primetime Live was there. Bounty Bags, as you mentioned, was in the house. High Roller Bags, LaBelle Burner Series. And what it was cool was, while they were there, we've incorporated the Wheel of Winning.
The Wheel of Winning.
So on Friday, each of the bag companies put up a prize. We spun the wheel, and I think every single one of them went out on Facebook, so you got a chance to see it. These will be happening within the context of the majors at select majors when we have the opportunity to do it.
Yep.
But this was a really good way to introduce you to this Wheel of Winning, which has become our new addiction. And we're going to show you how we use it again coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But it was cool. Everybody offered up a different prize, T-shirts, hats. There were some that were anything you want from the booth. And it was cool. Koozies, custom koozies, and that kind of thing. So the Wheel of Winning was in full effect in Dalton. Very good stuff. So let's get down to the actual winning of the cornhole. And we begin with which was a fantastic match. And I want to say this was a double dip scenario in women's singles. And it was Kim Jackson, who was banging out all the social media pieces, but she took third place in a stacked women's field. And it was a battle between Kennedy Meineke and Cheyenne Bubenheim. And I want to say it was a double dip situation. Cheyenne came in and took the double dip and got it done. And so congratulations to Cheyenne. And that was when she was off and on with the Primetime Live folks in the booth there with her bag company. Scott Harper, who I know a lot of folks picked to win seniors, did in fact win seniors. And he had a hell of a match against Brian Higginbotham. Caught that one on the stream as well. Mick Hoaksang takes third. In juniors challenger was Jackson Allen, the name that keeps popping up in the juniors challenger, over Tanner Roof to take first place in juniors premier. Isaac Hurt pops up kind of out into, we were just talking about where have they gone? I mean, I know where Caleb is, not sleeping. I know that's where he is. But Isaac took down Riley McCaig, and then Jacob Bagley takes third in premier. And co-ed doubles, there it is again, Cheyenne Bubenheim and Tyler Goodwin. That is a lethal.
It's a good team right there. But there's a lot of good teams out there, Finn. Let's not kid ourselves.
Well, no doubt. And they took down a hell of a team that was winning everything they entered the first half of the season, and that was Kennedy Meineke and Sebastian Barger. And then it was Abby Fox and Shibby Shivner taking third. So that was an interesting co-ed team to see up in the top three. The Monster Blind Draw, Craig Callahar Jr. and Stephen Campbell take the top prize there. In the Blind Draw quads, Tristan Priest, Louis Ney, Steve Campbell, and Gabriel Bullard take first place there. In the Big Blind Draw, Richard Jones and Paxton Lindley. And you saw, if you looked at the winners graphics that were posted yesterday. Thanks to Tom Latham for putting all those together. There was a great photo in there. So that was kind of how we wrapped up Friday into doubles and singles on Saturday. Tier 2 doubles, Jamie Duran and Tyler Lott take the top there. In Tier 3, it's Ashley Fleming, Cody Van Winkle take the top spot in Tier 3. Tier 4, Linda Smith and Mike Smith Sr. And then Tier 5, it was Justin Haga and Pat Biso. Congratulations there. And again, you talk about the doubles teams that are out there, not just co-ed, but man, oh man, Chris Turner and Jacob Kelty tied for 7th with Josh Holland and Kanan Culverson, names that you're used to seeing up here in that list. So that shows you what kind of competition was going on. Scott Harper and Jacob Bagley tied for 5th with Bryce Jefferson and Robert Booker. Another great team there. Sebastian Barger and Tyler Goodwin step in for 4th place. River Cole and Shibby Shibner, again, Zach Shibner in there taking 3rd. And then it was a battle between Amari Scott and Riley McKeag. And Amari Scott's name, who just keeps popping up, it's peppered in here, there, and everywhere. Especially the last 3 or 4 months.
Amari's been playing on fire.
Yeah, battle Drew Dixon and Colby Baskins. Drew and Colby take their measure and take the top of the podium there. And in singles, Tier 2, it was Steve Campbell on top, Danielle Losi on Tier 3. Chad Cox took Tier 4, and Tier 5 was Raylan Locke. Congratulations there. And then it was, this was a bit of a redemption arc, I think. My understanding is all chairs remained in place. And everyone was on the edge of those seats watching this one. Isaac and Zach tied for 7th. Colby and Amari tied for 5th. River Cole, another name who's popping up quite a bit here lately, takes 4th. Then Josh Holland takes 3rd. And then it was a battle between Sebastian Barger and Karsten Morris. And Sebastian comes out on top and takes another singles title.
Dude, in a battle it was. I mean, Karsten Morris, proved that he belongs in any dance. He played lights out, and Sebastian showed us why he's king. But I'll give you a match, and I'm not 100% sure, but I believe this did happen. I believe that Karsten Morris ended up taking down Amari Scott in a game to move on to the Final Four or something like that, and ended up beating Amari 21-0, I believe.
Is that right?
If I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So, again, don't quote me totally on that, Finn, but I think I heard that. I meant to research that and make sure that was what went down. And my point to that is we just got done talking about how good Amari Scott has been playing. And now think about that. Karsten Morris from the West Coast. That's the other cool thing about this, man, is here we go having some West Coasters now making an impact in the sport of cornhole and particularly the ACO.
Yeah. I would tell you there are a lot of Midwesterners whose eyebrows used to be here and now they're up here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, what? And Karsten Morris, Karsten the Younger, because he plays with his dad in doubles. Karsten with a C is dad. Karsten with a K is Karsten the Younger. He is kind of the silent assassin. He just kind of rolls in. He stays under the radar, and he is throwing gas. And you're going to see proof of that coming up here in a minute. And as a matter of fact, I took a sneak peek. I cheated a little bit. I took a sneak peek at the shot of the week. Yeah. And he is featured in this one, and it is that match with Sebastian. And Rich asks a very good question, and maybe you'll be able to answer it. I don't have an answer for it. I think I do, but I'm not 100% sure. Drew Dixon was the only one that was a first-time purple jersey winner out of
is that right? Out of the
everybody
weekend?
There in the weekend. And that brings up a point that I meant to bring up at the very beginning. You're starting to see certain names bubble up to the top a lot. So whereas maybe 2 months ago we're saying, this is anybody's game. And usually by now we kind of know who is really gunning for that king top spot for King of Cornhole, or possibly our first ever, Queen of Cornhole in World Singles. But now you're starting to see some names pare down. And will we see another kind of explosion of new names come out? Because Josh Neville is one of those names that's come in. Obviously, Karsten. There's a host of others that are starting to become part of that elite group that we're getting down towards as we head toward the World Championship. So some names definitely to keep an eye out for. So congratulations to everyone there. We're going to get to a shot of the week you're not going to want to miss here coming up in just a moment. But we are looking ahead now, not this weekend, but the following weekend. We wrap up February in Clarksville at the F&M Bank Arena. Cool new facility.
Cool new facility. I just got off a call talking with them today about entries and everything else, parking. So Finn, next week or even sooner may have a post go out, but by Tuesday Taco next week, we'll have places for people to park around the arena because this is a brand new place that we're going to be there. But there's lots of good, easy, economical spots from the street to parking garages to if you're staying at one of the hotels nearby, it's walking distance. So next week,
that's awesome.
Next week we'll talk a little bit about really good, just kind of like we did in Knoxville, Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
With the convention center there, just letting everybody know where it's easy to access the arena that we're going to be in. But great thing about Clarksville, as you already know, is there's a high demand to be there. So it's going to be a big tournament, lots of players, people coming in from all over the place. Waiting list right now of over 100 players. We are going to be
right?
We are going to be next Thursday getting in there, setting up and trying to figure out a way to accommodate a few more of those players. There's no way I think we're going to be able to accommodate everybody. But we're going to try to accommodate as many people as we possibly can.
And let you know as early as possible so you can get there.
Exactly. So we'll be setting up on that Thursday. We'll be putting some kind of release out there so people know what's happening with those tickets. But that will happen.
And you mentioned waiting list. It's not just a standard somebody, April's not just writing down a list. The waiting list is a Scoreholio function.
It's off of Scoreholio, and it functions the way Scoreholio functions. So, based on when you get on that waiting list, it has a process, I believe, that releases like every 5 minutes or whatever to those tickets that are available. And if there's still another available ticket, every 5 minutes later, another person will be added or notified via their phone.
Yeah.
So if you do get notification, that's a good thing, but it means you have a short period of time to go get your ticket, or that is going to be somebody else is going to be notified.
And get to Clarksville. That's the other thing.
And get to Clarksville. Get this though. Sorry, real quick.
No, it's
get
all right.
this.
It's like we did it in rehearsal.
Dalton, Georgia, and Clarksville, Tennessee, both were sellouts here in the month of February. Dalton sold out, towards the last 1 or 2 days. Clarksville sold out like 3 weeks prior to the event. Dalton ended up with a waiting list of like 23, 24 players. So it's exciting, but back to what we always preach to you players, get your singles ticket for those tournaments that you want to be a part of, particularly the smaller ones that I think are going to end up selling out. The Cokewell one is one that I think is going to end up selling out. That only has like 100 spots in Oregon. You've got the Margaritaville one down in Florida that I think is going to end up being a sellout. There's a few more out there that should possibly be sellouts. Bentonville, Arkansas is a sellout. And I could name a couple more, but you know what I'm saying. Get your singles ticket. You don't need to worry about the other tickets. Get that singles ticket.
Well, and here's the other thing I would tell you, too, because we're talking about, let's say you get notified Thursday after setup, but you're like, well, it's a 10-hour drive or an 8-hour. You might not be able at that point. The reason I think that this one is happening the way it is because we've never set up in this venue before. So there are some where, if we're going into a bigger spot or whatever that we've been to before and it sells out in advance and maybe it hadn't in the past,
right?
We know we can get X number of sets. So that waiting list can start to kick in sooner.
Correct.
This is completely a function of this being in a venue that we've not been in before. So this is not how the waiting list will always work from a timeline standpoint, but from a procedural order of operations, this is how it will work. So know that, to your point, get that singles ticket. That locks you in because the other divisions will always have room for you to buy into. So Clarksville, F&M Bank Arena, LaBelle will be there. Candler's going to be there. Craig and Ashley Irvin are going to be there. Sean Priest, you're going to be there. Russell and Cherish Tabers are going to be there. Kim Jackson and CBC is going to be on the stream again. I think they can walk there from their house
yes.
for this one. So that'll be another great opportunity to absorb, even from a distance, some fantastic cornhole. BD Boards and Bags, CBC will be there. 157 Bag Company, Bullseye, Lucky's, Fly Cornhole, Brothers Bag Company, Soul Crusher will be there with all sorts of different products. Arcane Bags, LaBelle Burner Series, and then there's Lolly's Lines, which is the embroidery service, which you talked about a little bit last week, and an opportunity to make some really cool custom gear. And you may be able to make something that only you, Cherish is making those kind of collector's items,
right.
T-shirts,
yep.
but this is with Lolly's Lines, an opportunity for you to make a one-of-a-kind thing that's really custom to you.
Yeah, embroider a hat with the ACO logo that you want on there. Get a jersey or shirt with the ACO logo on.
Yep.
It's really cool. First time they're going to be there, so excited to have them.
All right, so I have my ACO lifetime tattoo. Would they embroider a tattoo onto me?
That's a risky take. I mean, he won't get a brand. So I'll challenge you to get stitched.
I'll get stitched.
A Frankenstein logo or something like that.
And then as my skin continues to wear off, it'll just pop right off. It won't be down in the endodermis. All right. So normally this is where we would have our wheel of winning, where we would be spinning for the winner of the free upcoming registration for singles and doubles with your survey set up for when you filled out surveys. We've moved it over to doing it this way. Now, that said, we have to have a certain percentage of surveys filled out before we do that. So this comes as a reminder. We're going to show you a graphic representation of what it looks like. But if the Dalton survey is in your email or maybe in your junk folder, your spam filter, whatever, go in there, spend a couple minutes filling it out, and the wheel could spin you to a win for a singles and doubles entry, just like this. Now, this particular case, I don't want to seem clairvoyant, but I think the winner is going to be your name here. See if I'm right. Hey, look at me go. That's how it works. Anybody that that fills out the survey has an opportunity to win, and that's a hell of a value. It's over $100 value.
Yeah.
For a singles and doubles ticket up to an upcoming major. So I think we're at about 30% return right now. So if you got home and haven't filled out your survey and you want a shot to win, we'll spin it again next week, and we may have, that'll be the one because we don't have a major this weekend. But know that that's how you can end up, and you can watch the taco to find out if you won the upcoming prize for that spin of the wheel.
I may get together with Whitney this week too to give us something else to talk about next week. I'm thinking it just came to me because somebody actually asked the question, Sid did, about the Road Dog Award, right?
Yeah.
And their question on the table was, do you have to play singles for it to count towards the Road Dog? No, that's not the case. If you come to a major and you play in any of the primary tournaments like the women's, the seniors, the co-ed, the juniors, the singles, the world doubles, any one of those counts towards you and your efforts to be a road dogger. Okay. Sure. But the cool thing is, I think next week we might want to see if Whitney can give us a sneak peek at some of those players that look like they're chasing the road dog this year.
Yeah, because there's got to be some that have already achieved it.
I'm 100% sure.
And there's got to be some that are just one or two majors away. So, yeah, I think we did that about this time last year, as a matter of fact, looked ahead. So we'll have an opportunity to do that. That'll be cool. We won't have results to go over, so it'll be another
something to talk about
piece of content. And what you just said there is another thing. Like when we were talking about spinning the wheel for the bag partner prizes at the majors, the way you get entered for that, you don't have to do anything other than play in a division.
Yeah,
that's
good
it.
point.
If you've registered and played in a division, you're already on that wheel. So you may hear your name announced as you've won something and you didn't even know why. So that's why. So just showing up. I mean, how many times have you heard that? Your dad or your mom probably said, the most important part is just show up. No matter what it is, your work, whatever it is, just show up. And that proves to be the case here. All right, so this is what we were teasing a little bit ago, the Whole Nation Shot of the Week. And pay very close attention to what Rich says here, because maybe in the comments, you'll be able to answer this question. So we'll turn this over to Whole Nation. Rich and Tracy Pyle pulled this. This is your Whole Nation Shot of the Week. Check it out.
Welcome to this segment brought to you by Whole Nation. I'm your host, Rich Pyle. I'm going to show you a cornhole shot from a recent tournament. A pivotal shot. A game-changing shot. A shot you don't get to see every day. Check out this Shot of the Week. This Shot of the Week comes to us from the ACO Dalton, Georgia Major, where we find Karsten Morris and Sebastian Barger in a heated match. In this round, the blocks are dropped and cleaned until Karsten's third bag is surrounded and covered by two of Sebastian's bags. There's no hesitation in Karsten's game as he rockets his bag at the board, digging his bag out from underneath, while splitting and pushing both of Sebastian's bags aside, picking up 4 points. Great shot, whatever kind of shot this is called. If you think you know what kind of shot this is called, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this week's Shot of the Week. Now let's turn it back over to the Taco Show with Frank and Finn at the ACO World Headquarters. Frank, Finn?
Wow. Wow. Karsten, hell of a shot, dog.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about that shot. I mean, he did it with such purpose. I mean, I feel like that's not a bar of soap. It's not a, I don't know what, I mean.
The classic bar of soap is blowing through it and knocking it off the backside.
Yeah,
right?
or put, whatever. But that one kind of, it was like a parting of the Red Sea. I mean, it came in and even in slow motion, it looks almost impossible to believe that shot. And you don't see that one very often because that Sebastian's bag was like laying on top of it, pinning it down. And he came in and did, I mean, to me, that's got brute force written all over it, but I don't think you can just call it a brute force bag because that can be applied to anything. So maybe a Red Sea bag that splits the middle. I really don't know. So if you have an idea for the name of that shot, and holy shit doesn't count as a shot name because we can't say that very often. But if you have an idea, throw it down in there. We'd love to see what your thoughts are. Maybe, Karsten, if you're watching, you have a name for that shot? We'd love to know what it is because that was remarkable. Great stuff. And thank you very much to the folks from Whole Nation for isolating that one. That was a beauty. We'll end the show with a little video of another shot of the week, and that is our shot of our man Thruster. We'll do that again at the end of the show.
We're bringing it back.
It's never going away. We're not bringing it back. It's never going anywhere other than here. All right, so here's the upcoming majors list. Again, Clarksville.
By the way, has Todd talked to you about this shot at all? Has he said anything about his nickname? He hasn't said a word to you?
No. I haven't seen him since then. That's the last time I saw him, I think, was when he did it at, or maybe. No, that's
was it Owensboro? It was Owensboro, right? That he did it.
I think, yeah.
It was Owensboro.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm sure we'll find out. Clarksville is at the end of the month here in just about a week and a half. F&M Bank Center welcome bash information. Still waiting to get that. Usually there's 2 or 3 that happen in the Clarksville area. Then after that, we head back to Tulsa, where we had the World Championships this past season. That's March 6th and 7th, 20 to 21st. Bentonville, again, one of those you talked about, will sell out if it hasn't already gotten very close. Get that singles ticket. Erie, Pennsylvania, Peoria, and back to the Westin Lake Las Vegas, all on March 27th and March 28th. Then the next Pro Series skins is the Shreveport-Bossier Major on April 3 and 4. 10 and 11 back to Upland, California. Then the one you mentioned too, only, what did you say, 100 spots for Coquel?
About 100 spots in Coquel. So.
And Coquel is North Bend, Oregon. They actually, in Medford, they have a facility in Medford, which, did you say you did or did not have a chance to go?
I did. It's a cool little casino, a Margaritaville area, so nice little place.
Yeah. So, again, Coquel is brand new to the schedule. A cool opportunity for the Welcome Bash to raise some money for Special Olympics. Is that correct?
Special Olympics is the, yep.
And we're going to have some Special Olympics athletes that are going to be there to celebrate this with us. You're going to have an opportunity to win some pretty cool stuff, not the least of which, see those dune buggies down there, opportunity to get out and be a part of that as well. So looking forward to Coquel, and that is going to be on April 17th and 18th. We've taken Dallas off the schedule because it's not going to happen this season. So that one, I saw somebody looking for a partner for Dallas, and I popped a note in there just to let them know it's not happening this season because of the fire next door to AJ's. They're not going to rebuild. So we'll look to replace that in the coming season. Another brand new one. We talked about Medford, Oregon over here. Well, now we're in Medford, New York, which is Long Island.
I'm really looking forward to that one with Eric and team.
Yeah, this is going to be at Pickleball Heaven, Medford, New York. Welcome Bash details still to come, but that's April 24 and 25. Then we move into May 1 and 2. We're going to be in Mobile, Alabama, and then 1, 2, and 3, we're going to be in Europe. So Daniel Lilly's going to be riding herd on that for us in the ACO Europe 1, 2, and 3. And I've seen a lot of really cool posts from the Wiz and Steins and a host of the others who we've come to see, Alistair and the whole group there in the UKCL. They are really going after it. I mean, there is a lot of really stiff competition brewing in the UK.
And if I'm not mistaken, I've talked to quite a few people. Like I know that Kim and Chad are going back out, I believe. I believe that Ashley and Craig are going back out because they've become great friends with people over there, as well as I have. I enjoy that entire community. But I'm also... our friends over at Haggard Bags, I believe they've got 4 to 8 people headed over there. So we actually are going to have a good contingency of great players from the States going over there to compete against some of these up-and-coming solid players from the UK and the whole area out there.
So here's a question. I never really thought of this. Haggard Bags, I mean, is here.
Was the flight shorter for them than us?
Well,
it's
my
gotta be
question
longer,
is,
I
will
think.
it be, should they fly the other way around to get to it or up over the top?
I think they go over the top.
I think they're going to have to go up
OT.
over the top. It might be a shorter flight
Yeah, I
for
think
them to
they're
come
going
up
to.
over the top. Anyway, that's great news. And speaking of our friends in the UK, I haven't shown this, have I?
Yeah, you showed that. I think.
I don't think
No,
I have.
you haven't shown it there. Yeah.
No, not here. But, well, when it gets warmer out and I can wear a shirt with short sleeves, I'll show you a little something.
And call out to Nick, man. Nick Pettit for winning his UKCL event out there.
Yep. It's been fun to watch because now they're starting to get those competitive juices fired up against it. They're not worried about the U.S. players. Yeah. They're going after each other big time. And it's fun to watch. I hit up the Wiz the other day and I'm like, dude, what happened? He got blown up. He goes, I couldn't dial it in. And our man Liam, I mean, that guy, he is just burning it up everywhere he goes. So Liam, congratulations on your success. That's cool stuff. May 8th and 9th, Salt Lake City. May 15 and 16, double dipping, Toledo and Camp Margaritaville. Then May 22 and 23, we're going to be back in Canada. And this is a big deal. This is a food, music, and cornhole festival. Cornhole being the centerpiece.
Cornhole being the centerpiece, man. And it's just the beginning of big things, I think, happening in Canada. And right now, I think there's already been 15 different food trucks that'll be part of this cornhole tournament for the ACO. So love it, excited about it. You know how cool that area is up there. And this is going to be a better time of the year. It'll be a little bit warmer outside, more ability to walk around the community, go out and play golf if you want, go hiking, go boating, lots of different things that you can do out there.
So 15 food trucks.
15 food trucks, baby.
So I'm going to have to be there for 15 days.
Well, 5.
Well, hopefully some of them are breakfast trucks. But no, that's awesome. So Canada, again, May 22 and 23. If you didn't get a chance to go the first time, make sure you plan to be at Prince Edward Island. It's just amazing. I'm speaking from experience. It's amazing. And then May 29 and 30, Memorial Day weekend, we wrap up the way we've done so many times in the past with another Pro Series skins and an opportunity to head back to Branson, Missouri. You know, right there along the river. It's no, it's not. It's the lake. It's not a river. It's considered a lake, and it flows the opposite direction. Lake. I had the name right there on the tip of my tongue. Taneycomo. Yes, thank you very much. Lake Taneycomo.
It's the room we play in at the convention center.
Yes, but it's also
I know, but that they named that room after the lake.
Thank you very much.
Or no, they named the lake after the
room at the So that's usually how it happens. Major bodies of water are named after hotel conference rooms. Is that how they typically do it? Anyway, so that wraps up the regular season schedule. It's hard to believe we're already talking about wrapping up season 21. But again, keep in mind, all of this in service to the World Championships back in Thronesboro, Kentucky, the final full week of July, the one that ends on that final Saturday, and that is the 25th, July 21 through 25 in Owensboro. Understand that is the final full week of July, not the week after that ends on a Friday. Know that, 21 through 25. More details coming on the front side of that, what we're going to be doing, but that's what you need to know. And then, again, once that's under our belt, all eyes are on Medford, Oregon, baby, and the Rogue X.
Well, and I've been behind the scenes, and I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago announcing it, so hopefully I'll work really hard this week, Finn, to get some more things to talk about next Tuesday, which would be majors coming up in season 22.
Yeah.
Is that 22 we're going to now?
Yeah, 22. We'll have some graphics and some dates laid in.
Talking about that road, as you said, to Medford, Oregon.
Well, and that road is still peppered with more West Coast tournaments. We've got more majors coming into the West Coast, not the least of which is Coquel, as we mentioned. We've still got the 2 majors in Medford to happen before the World. So you have a couple of opportunities to get out there and experience it in 2 different types or times of the year, which is great. So more and more opportunities to get out there and experience that and justify spending your time and your effort to qualifying for for the world's, no matter what majors you play in. I'm telling you, these trips and these cities are chosen for a reason because they have so much to offer that you wouldn't necessarily maybe get to see without being a part of the ACO family. I've gone to places I never thought I'd get to go to and seen things I would have never gotten to see, and it's been amazing. And I'm looking forward to more of that at the end of this season and into next. So that is going to do it. We do not have time to fill this week because we don't have any winners that we need to pick. So I guess that's going to wrap it up.
I don't know. Phil might be sulking too that I drug him down during doubles. And
did you play doubles with him?
We did.
Oh,
and I honestly, we were both awful, but I was worse. I expected Phil to carry me. That's what I was trying to show you in that photo. He was supposed to carry me. That was the ask of
that's
Phil.
what that was.
He was carrying me.
Well,
carrying me to the promised land, and it didn't happen. Sorry, Philip. Sorry I let you down, brother.
Maybe we'll make you guys your own T-shirt as a team that says.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Before I let this slip my mind, because things slip all the time, Bill from CBC, congratulations on the repeat on the shuffleboard champion there at the bar. So
what?
Bill, he will know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
He'll be so happy.
Is somebody out there coming after my shuffleboard crown?
Crescent City champion. Little bar there in Dalton there. So good stuff. Congratulations, brother.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'll see you soon, sir, on the shuffleboard court. We're going to get you and Philip a T-shirt made for next time you play doubles that says the Mississippi Ninja and the Cornhole Dude taking doubles cornhole to a whole new level. And then in parentheses,
carry me home.
It'll say down is a level. So there you go. All right, very good. We're going to wrap it up. Cheers to you. Your Taco Tuesday now belongs to you. Thank you for checking it out. We will post at 11 a.m. on Thursday everything that we talked about in print form, so you can go back and revisit, see what you might have missed, or show it to somebody else who might want to come back and watch the episode. We'll be back next Tuesday. Lots of great content coming between now and then. Thanks to everybody. Glad you had safe travels. Look forward to seeing you in Clarksville, Tennessee. I'm going to see if I can maybe hop on the last train to get there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Me and the monkeys. I'm Finn the Loudmouth for the ACO. He is Frank Gears, the Cornhole Dude, reminding you, as always,
okay, keep on pitching.
Coey. Good Lord.
No, I
Hi, I'm Rich Pyle, the host of Hole Nation, where we share everything this cornhole and a lot more. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and catch our new videos every Wednesday at 7. And remember, whether it's sticky or slick side down, bring it.